Hello, everybody. I got some bells ringing in the background here. I am not sure what's happening. Oh. Hello, hello. Oh boy, things are rough. Hey everyone, sorry about that. My camera didn't want to be recognized there for a minute, so it was causing me some issues, and I'm going to have to get some things caught back up again. You may notice I'm at church. It's at a meeting, so just picking up from here. I think we should see some other folks coming in here in a minute. So we are, again, Lunas with Luke, looking at the book of Acts. Also a special shout out to Willie James Jennings, who is providing some background for us in this commentary. And let's see here. All right. Everything is acting really wacky. Marcy.
Hey.
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 Can you hear me?
I can. Oh, I got my headphones.
Huh.
My trusty headphones. Yes. I can hear you.
I don't know if I can hear you.
Uh-oh. See that bright sun? Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, no.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I tell you, this setting up in a different location can get you in some trouble.
Oh.
That's for sure.
You're in a very sunny room, I think, right? I see. Ooh,
Yeah.
Here.
The sun is on all sides here, but I have to turn these lights off above me, otherwise it's like this angelic glow around me, which is a little too much, a little too much. Yeah. So how you been?
I'm getting over a cold, and it's been a rough go of it. I went to Spruance.
Oh, good.
And 2 days after I returned, I got an email saying that there had been an outbreak of COVID at Spruance. And that was about the same time I started feeling not well.
Oh, yeah.
So, I, of course, thought the worst, had 2 COVID tests, but they were both negative. So I think it was probably bad allergies that just turned into a cold. So, but yeah. So I'm feeling a lot better. I'm happy to be back with you all. Yeah.
I'm glad that I was telling Mark last week I was quite glad for the break, but I'm also glad to be glad to be back. Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you anticipate meeting on Memorial Day, or will you take that break as well?
Well, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I never think too far about the actual dates until they get a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see. We probably not. Give it a little. I think I had it. I think I had it marked off. Yeah.
Okay.
Now that I finally got my Presbyterian calendar, it's all making more sense to me.
Yeah, I have mine. My handy calendar. It's very helpful.
Well, I tell you.
Are we expecting Mark?
Yeah, Mark's going to be a little late. I didn't hear from Leonard exactly, but I imagine so.
Okay.
I was trying to pull up the commentary on my. I have it on a tab on Kindle, but
me
for
too.
some reason it's taking forever to come up on my computer. So
yeah, I got it for like $3.99. They were having a special on Amazon, and so I just grabbed it.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are we?
Oh, finally. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, it finally came up. All right. Oh, it's moving so slowly. So weird.
How was the prayer vigil last night? Or what night did y'all have the prayer vigil?
Yeah, we had a prayer vigil last night, and I think
Yeah.
they're going to have another one on Tuesday. There's just been a couple of deaths in the community, a couple of shootings
right.
in the community, and then of course with Buffalo and
Right.
you know, everything added on top of it. I think it's just kind of a, you know, just trying to pull some people together.
Yeah.
I was a little late getting there. I had something else going on, but yeah, it was good. A good gathering. Yeah, so it's interesting, you know. I mean, it's like everywhere else, you know, and kind of related maybe to this text as well. Just how, you know, certain communities are so unaware of what's going on in other in other communities, you know.
Yeah.
You know, unless you get some kind of heads up from someone that you know, you just really don't. You really don't have an idea. So, but
there's
right.
So much going on. So there's Leonard.
All right.
Hello. Woo!
Yeah, I made it back.
And
Good to see you.
And you're among the living here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why the screen is showing up.
Yeah, I don't know why it's cutting you off on that one side. Let's try that. I don't want to be the big person, but I don't know how else to get us to be. Oh, how about that? There we go. Yeah. That saves a little space for Mark to jump in.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. So I think, let's see. I think I got this pulled up here. Let's see if I can share some of this. Oh boy. I tell you, this thing is really.
It's giving you a problem.
Yeah, I usually do it on a different computer at home.
Oh.
You know, and so it's one of those things where every single thing wants to be a problem.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so this is getting into chapter 1 here. And I was interested, you know, I'm interested in maybe the more, you know, the direct stuff about the nationalist, you know, the nationalist fantasy. Oh. Let's see here. I think I heard Mark. I heard the beep. Yeah, there we go. There he is.
Party people, good evening.
Yeah. But there is some interesting stuff here. You know, there's some interesting stuff here at the beginning about. Well, there's this interesting thing about instruction here. You know, and a different kind of instruction, which I think is interesting. And then there's this other part a little later on about touch.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And being you know being present.
Yeah.
Jesus gives himself to be viewed, touched, and even handled over many days. You know, and I would, you know, in addition to that, there's the he's handled over many days, but you know, back in Luke's gospel, he was handed over, you know, and allowed himself to be presented himself to be handed over as well to the authorities. So anyway, yeah, I just think that
got some echo.
Yeah, I don't know where. I'm telling you, it's. You guys talk, and I'll try to.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Marcy.
No, I was just gonna say I chuckled about that part about the touch, and they said that the church may have lost their sense of touch in terms of how we're kind of all frozen in our chosen seats, and it reminds me of
You got
passing of
echo.
the peace, where you get up and greet your neighbor and kind of move away from your comfortable space and go and touch them and hug or shake hands or something. And it's my mother's least favorite part of the worship service. She just doesn't like it at all. And I'm like, Mom, this is us being in community.
Yeah.
And she just does not like that part
Okay.
at all.
You know,
It's funny.
I was thinking in that part about touch. I mean, touch is how we bond. One way that we bond with each other.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I struggle with is how do we create and grow community, especially in the past 2 years where folks are so isolated from each other. How do we go about doing it? How do we create a sense of space and a sense of intimacy when, because of this virus,
Right.
we have been away from each other. We have not been able to hug each other, shake hands, pump fists, do all those type of things in which are rituals of bonding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that is a tremendous challenge. And I thought even before COVID, one of the greatest challenges I thought folks felt was isolation. I've seen all kinds of comments to that we have the most interconnected world through the internet and social media, but yet so many folks feel alone and isolated.
Right. Because the social media lacks intimacy, and that, it's pretty much non-existent. Our echo went away, I think.
We're fed an algorithm, and so they determine what we see, even from the people we're connected with. And so,
Right. Yeah, I've always felt like the way that social media works is it isolates you more
Mhm.
than than brings you together with people. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon. You kind of, but yeah, no, but I think this idea of touch and being present to be touched is that's a like along the lines you're talking about, Mark, just being able to to be in a place to hug and shake hands and and that sort of thing.
And I think one of the challenges of touching the other is that, first of all, it means that I have to give up some of my personal space, and I have to invite you or Marcy or Leonard into my personal space, and so that there's risk involved. But I guess one of the things, like as Janice is saying is that really there cannot be community without some risk.
and I think we miss so much about touch because in many instances we haven't experienced death, and to touch a live body and then to touch a dead body, it gives you a real appreciation for what's going on. And when Jesus invites that touch, I know life is felt in it. And I want to say this, his life is special, but if that touch is symbolically passed down to us, when we touch other people, they should feel that same life in us. And because we don't touch, this is why we have all these problems with sex and whatnot, because then touching is something other than what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Leonard. We have in Western culture. I don't know this.
Am I frozen? Or
I was trying to see what's up, an echo. I don't understand what's going on with this echo.
Go on, we could understand what you were saying.
I forgot what you're called. And our culture, touch has become taboo. Being intimate in each other, we know the two most intimate things friends can do is eat together and have sexual relations. And we know how in Western culture, we've sort of kind of poo-pooed sex and sexuality, and we've almost demonized it to a certain extent. So with all this negative talk about being intimate, I think it sort of kind of scares folks away or from taking that risk.
Well, I've always loved children, and I touch them. I pick them up. I have somebody actually do exercises with in church because they need to feel that kind of touch to realize how they should be touched. And you should be able to do that in church. We are a hugging church. Even with COVID, you got your mask on, but you're still hugging. And I read this, and it just did something to me, and it let me know that I was on the right path, because here we're talking, in early acts about Jesus being there and allowing them to touch him to show that there was life there.
Right.
And so, we have to do the same thing, because, we talk about death. Death is all around us everywhere.
Yeah.
Children need a touch of life instead of a touch of death.
Mm-hmm. I think these two lines here, this one, whether they believe or not, Jesus is alive, present to be touched, in league with all the senses. Surely the resurrection of Jesus is closer to the erotic than the evidentiary, which I thought was a provocative statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very,
I was like,
very.
woo.
And then, like with what, we're getting to here is, disciples must touch and be touched. It could be that the church weakens its grasp of the resurrection precisely in its timidity to present itself to be touched by the world. Obviously in the sense of touched emotionally or whatever, but also touched physically.
Yeah.
I
was thinking, what I had a long time long time ago. I did a bunch of reflections, and one of the things I reflected on was this concept of a sensuality. And I think one of the problems when we look at climate change is that one of the reasons why we have such a problem with this area is that you have to be in nature. You have to feel nature. You have to put your feet in the sand at the beach. You have to smell the flowers. You've got to taste the wine. You have to feel the briskness of the air in the morning. And I think that we are so removed from that we can't appreciate the gift because we're not intimately being touched by the gift. That's one of the things I've shared with you all before that I've learned from photography, and that one of the things that I've learned that I can feel the light, especially sunrise and sunset. You can feel the warmth of the light, feel the coldness of the light. We can't love creation until we intimately touched by the creation.
We've isolated ourselves from creation.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, of course, there is the very. I don't know what to do about this echo. This echo is killing me. I don't know where.
I don't know what's happening.
Some setting. I don't know. Settings.
I don't know. Let me see if I can.
It could be in the platform, with all these storms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. We're expecting storm.
Let me see if I.
What if we all go out and come back in again?
What about? That's still gone? Still there? Let's see.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Maybe I did it. Woo! Mercy.
Yeah. Really.
That was something for a minute.
Yeah,
that was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is a hard side of that, all of that stuff, because obviously the situation is that the world and people do touch people in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And do, and I think the difficulty is how do we, how are we a place that defends against that without, becoming a place that
Abandons it.
doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, doesn't
Right.
allow touch, that I don't know. It's always the balance that's so
Yeah.
difficult to,
Because I think what empire does, empire forces touch, and whether that be, that's what rape is. It's violation.
It distorts.
Yeah.
It distorts.
Yeah.
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 Because that's and that's the hard part about. That's that's the handing over some
Right.
of the and that's of course churches again. That's we end up getting that's the dark side of the church communities as well. They become places of this that keep these secrets of this kind of touch. That's the wrong kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like the echo is back somehow. That makes me angry.
Oh my God.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. Well, we got rid of it for a minute at least.
Oh.
I've been reading a lot of stuff about kind of how through this idea of individualizing or becoming individuals, that it's kind of the first way that we keep guard against being touched or being available to other people.
Right.
Right.
It is such a big part of such a big part of our culture.
Right.
And communities when we invite each other in to our personal space. Empires just bust in and don't care.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Darren, in this sense of the American culture of rugged individualism, and you grow up and you leave your family to make something of yourself, which just hearing saying that assumes that you don't really need other people and that you're gonna have all the answers. You're gonna make everything that happens is gonna be because you took action, and it's folly really, and it really sets the stage for growing isolationism and a growing distancing from other people as you get older, which you know can lead to this collectively leads to a nationalist kind of fantasy idea about we have the answers, we're the right people, and we will wall off against people who don't belong.
Yeah. Just I don't know what to do about this echo.
I was trying to talk slowly, like it would stop, but no.
Yeah. It'd be nice if it was like translating, it was like, going in a different language afterwards. That would make sense. But, yeah, I don't know.
I think who suggested that we go out, everybody, and then
And
come back?
in. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, let's.
Shall we try that?
Try that.
Try that.
I'll see.
Try
Yeah, I'll see if it'll echo after. Then see if we can go out and come back in.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
What about? Is it you? Oh, let's see if I'm echoing. All right. What about you, Mark?
Okay. What's it sound like?
Okay, I think it seems all right.
Okay. I guess it's sometimes you get a bad connection because we just got a bad connection.
Yeah, something strange.
Yeah, bad connection. Sometimes you gotta call folks back.
Now let's hook it back in.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if. All right. What about you, Leonard? Can we hear you?
It's good.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better.
All right.
Yeah, I think we just got a bad connection.
Okay. Now let's. That was. Wasn't. Hopefully, Marcy hasn't got kicked out for good. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So good. Yeah. No, I think that was a really, that's a really, I don't know, just like all of his stuff. I mean, just those little couple paragraphs. It's all, a lot of powerful stuff all in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I love reading Jennings, but I always have to keep a dictionary nearby.
Yeah.
Because, he has quite a vocabulary.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, to me, it's kind of like he just thinks in a different way, that I'm not used to. And so I always kind of have to read and then reread and then kind of go back and wrap my head around where he's at, or at least try to, and then kind of go back again and be like, oh, okay, maybe I get it now. Yeah.
But, it's amazing. I look at the published date of 2017, which means he was writing it probably in 14 and 15. And how he has his pulse on this nationalism thing, before most of us even realize what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
right.
I just loved how he dealt with that. The inconsistencies of it, the anti-God, anti-Christ foundation of it, and then the fact of all the insecurity, and that's why people, thrive for it, because they want everybody to be like them instead of embracing this rainbow that God has given us. And what he said, the disciples, I like what he said, they will be turned out to the world, not as representatives of empire, but those who announce a revolution, the revolution of the intimate God calling to the world,
Right.
And, and that's something we miss so many times. How God really wants us to be intimate, to sit down and have that honest conversation and let that glory come into us.
Yeah.
There's a youth. Uh-oh. How dare you?
Your stream is having problems.
Yeah, I don't know. That is rough.
Yeah.
And we never got Marcy back.
Yeah. I texted her. I haven't heard back from her.
Yeah. No, I think that the way he hits this nationalism thing is really important. And like you said, it came right at the right time.
Yeah.
Man, that is bothering me.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I know that you always talk about this Christian nationalism thing, and it seems like this thing is to seduce the church to a great extent.
Well, I mean, that's what Jennings says there on page 20.
Yeah.
Nationalism is a seductive way of understanding collective existence. And so, it just and he sort of sounds like Howard Thurman saying, it's not God. It's, I'll find it in a minute, but just like the religion of Jesus and the religion about Jesus, different things.
Yeah. And I guess especially after after Saturday, we definitely see the dangers of this nationalism thing. Whether we look at what happened Saturday and Sunday, it's just an ever creeping poison in our society.
But I never thought I'd read this, where he says, this is why the book of Acts is a direct, unequivocal assault on nationalism in all its forms.
Yeah.
And Darren, that took a completely different reading of Acts to see that, because we've been taught how to preach this text, what this book is about, the Pentecostals have embraced this as their book when, you got all of these other things going on.
Yeah.
And, my daily Bible reading right now is in Acts, and, the trial before Festus, and tomorrow he's going before the king and whatnot. And just all of this, how I want to say this, the reaction against the church state, because, Rome, whenever they conquered a country, they put one religion in charge. And so the Pharisees and the high priests, they were actually co-conspirators with the Romans. And this is a direct attack on that church-state bond that we say, we're so against, in the United States, but actually, want it when it suits our terms.
Yeah.
I think, especially if we look at this weekend, which remind me a little bit of Charleston a lot. There's the threat of those in the African American community doing the same thing as what Israel did when they dealt with Babylon and Syria and then Persia and then Greece and Rome, to withdraw within yourself, because you feel that the world is a very, very threatening place. And I think we know the call is to Marcy says she can't get back in for some reason. I think the call is to, as we saw the reaction after Charleston, is to be open for forgiveness, which is a very, very difficult and challenging thing. But that's the call. That's what Jennings is talking about. Be open and invite folks in, and understand that invitation is always going to be with us.
That line I was looking for, it said, nationalism gives energy to the false belief that only by its own single efforts can a people sustain its story, its hope, and its life. Such belief is unbelief for a Christian, because we know God offers a new way found in a new life, joining the bringing stories, hopes, and lives in a shared work of knowing, remembering, and testifying.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the link back to Marcy again. But and I don't know what this echo is killing me.
And I like this one. It is communion without God, or God simply used as a slogan. And Mark, I don't know where you read that article I sent you from the Atlantic yet. And,
No, not yet.
Very eye-opening. It places another God, small g, before God, big G.
Yeah, let's yeah, I think this is part of what you're part of this quote here. Nationalism remains a powerful way of imagining life together. It is a theological vision that mimics the desire of God for full communion with each other. It's communion without God, or God simply used as a slogan. Is that what it says? This is why nationalism for moderns is the first idolatry, because it places another God before God.
A God bound to our nation over the gods of all nations.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, seriously, this is something that all Christians will need to address because it's not good.
Yeah.
Where did Darren disappear to?
Maybe he went out, tried to come back in.
Yeah, he's back.
I was trying to see if I could get myself unechoey. I don't think I can drop out. Otherwise, it'll kick everybody out.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Obviously the whole thing in Buffalo just brings to relief again, you know, some of this stuff. And I don't know, overall, I mean, you know, I think that I don't know where he said it, but, you know, just the idea that it's such a hard time of imagining ourselves in any way that's not bound up with being a part of a nation state, you know, as one of our primary identities, no matter where we're from, you know, is this makes it very difficult for us, you know, get a bigger picture of where we're being drawn to and who we're being drawn together with.
Yeah. And one of the things about nation is that nationalism is that it says there's only one perspective, there's only one viewpoint, there's only one way to be American, and that's this way.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you can't be American and be proud of your African American heritage or your Native American heritage. Did y'all see that story? It was a story talked about the history of Native American schooling and how what they were doing, where they were pretty much forcing Native Americans for the past 100 years to give up their culture.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not the sin of nationalism, I don't know what is.
Yeah. And here's something else that underlines that nationalism always engenders zero-sum calculations, where we win by controlling our borders and or controlling our identities, or we lose by being overrun with aliens who confuse our identity and resist assimilation. And so nationalism vision is weakness and fear masquerading as strength and courage, because it beckons the world's people to posture of protectionism and leads towards xenophobia.
Yeah.
Looks like we got Marcy in the chat at least.
Yeah. And it looks like to me, looking at these congressional elections and later on this year, that there were at least one party is heading strictly down that road. Assuming there's a lot of folks, it's going to be a bloodbath in the October, November, that the Republicans might retake the Senate and at least the Senate again. And so we might be heading back down that same road again.
I think what really worries me is that, you know, we've been in this place where we keep getting asked to play on to keep playing in this game, you know, where even the liberal side of democracy that's offered to us, you know, still can only, you know, still can't offer anything that we actually need, or still can't, really fight against the things that are killing people.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's some really things that we need to fight for. I know. I was listening to Fareed Zakari today, and he had a guest on that was talking about that we think we have food problems now, that next year is going to could be catastrophic. As we look at what's happening in Ukraine, and then we have the lower yields for wheat and different crops because of climate change. The guest was saying that next year could be just catastrophic throughout the world. And I think the question was asked, just like with Ukraine, NATO came together. Will the world come together the way they came around militarily for Ukraine to support these folks who might be starving to death?
Well, unfortunately, I think if we look at the history of NATO, especially in countries and other countries, we're going to be in deep trouble if that's who we're hoping is going to be our saving grace. I mean, that's the problem with nationalism, right? I mean, we're being asked in this country to line up behind something that we're not getting. We're not really given all the options that could be available to us, and certainly promoting sending more arms to these places and that places is not. It never seems to be a Christian option. I'm not sure that's what Jesus is asking us. To do. Well, I think we might have to call this echoey evening to an end. I know that it's hard for me to listen to, so I imagine it can't be easy for anybody else to listen to. I don't know.
What do you want to do next week, Darren?
Well, let's plan on continuing talking about this. We really get a chance to talk about it that much.
Okay.
And
all right. Well, y'all have a great one.
Unfortunately, I think that's probably all right.
Okay.
I thought next week we might be able to get a little preview of the Pentecost, just so in case people are going to give them a 2-week advance for anyone who's looking at preaching for Pentecost. Maybe we'll get around to it.
Marcy is fun.
She's over. She's over with the we're on the Celtic strain right now. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we'll try it again next Monday.
Yeah, we got the connection right now. That's the level. What's the level right now?
Yeah, that was quite a shock.
Oh, that was rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Good talking.
We'll try it again next week.
Didn't work out here. This echo is pretty bad.
Is there another platform, Darren, besides Restream? Just curious.
Maybe I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
Okay, y'all. All right.